I know y'all been waiting for that when I was going to get some good software, start learning how to do real podcasts, and actually have the intro in the video not coming off my phone. Really growing here, really growing. Welcome back to the Mama Bear Diaries. My name is Deborah Giesling. I'm your host and the founder of the Mama Bear Diaries. I'm not a behavioral health expert. I'm not a doctor, a clinician. I'm a mom, an advocate for my son and others who have serious mental illness. Thanks for joining me today. I'm just going to pop in here real quick to say that I haven't gone away. We've just been working on our technology, and in between me giving my puppy a bath and getting ready for dinner, I thought I'd stop by and just give a shout out. Let's call this primer number 9, about recent events the past few weeks. I know you've probably all heard about it. Trump's executive order on homelessness. And probably like me, you've seen the op-eds that are pretty hyperbolic about just fears that Trump administration is going to round up people and put them all in jail and, just kick them all off the streets, and I don't know where they're going to go. And some of it I kind of understand. I understand that fear because our system is so broken. Where are people with serious mental illness going to go for treatment? There is nowhere to go. That's why they're on the street. We've neglected this population since 1963, before that even, but 1963 we had this grand idea. We were going to move everyone into the community. And we were going to sing Kumbaya around the campfire like we did back in the 70s. And it didn't happen. It did not happen. There are some pockets, and there has been some good work done by good people throughout the decades, but for the most part, those with the more severe forms of mental illness have nowhere to go. Now, also my concern is how this administration and their public representatives talk about people with mental illness. Calling them mentally disturbed is not helpful, people. I had a sweetest woman who has a SMI. She messaged me and she was scared. She's actually conservative and Christian. And she was so scared. She said, "What's going to happen?" Come on. We can do better than that. We have just, I'm not progressive, but I will say we have really progressed in how we speak about race, how we speak about people with developmental disabilities. We don't use the word retarded anymore. Why is it still acceptable? Maybe because it helps us sleep good at night if we categorize it a different way and not take responsibility for this generation, what we can do to make it better for these people, to help them get into treatment, when there's so much more we know now since 1963 about medications, about schizophrenia, about bipolar disorder. Come on, let's stop doing that, fellow conservatives. Stop saying mentally disturbed. It's not okay. It's not okay. I'm not being nitpicky. I'm not being woke. It's not okay. It's not okay to say that. These are people with no fault brain illnesses that we as a society are failing. They don't deserve that. So, getting back to the executive order. I'm going to link at the bottom of this podcast an interview with KJZZ. To their credit, they did 2 side-by-side interviews with opposing opinions on this, and I thought it was really well done, and I'm really grateful that they gave me an opportunity to share my perspective on it. And my perspective on the executive order is that I think it's a good thing. And I'm going to be positive and remain positive about it because what we were doing was not working. We were primarily funding housing first, a one-size-fits-all, a promise of if we just put everyone in housing, everyone is going to recover magically. Again, singing Kumbaya. Well, guess what? That doesn't work. And then also just primarily funding harm reduction, giving people in the streets clean needles or having them go to clean sites so they can still stay in their addiction. Let's call it what it is. That's not serving people. That's not compassion. And so what this executive order does is it says we're not going to be funding those primarily. We're going to put out grants to assist states in and give them technical assistance in setting up assisted outpatient treatment, which is help for those who have anosognosia with severe mental illness and they need an on-ramp to treatment. Yes, it's involuntary, but it's done very well and done with a judge, and it's done with that person having legal representation. If you go back at one of my other primers, I did a whole primer on assisted outpatient treatment. So they are signaling they're going to fund that. They are signaling that they're going to fund programs that actually show an improvement of getting people off the streets, that actually show good outcomes. Accountability. That's actually a really good thing. That's not currently happening. So I think if this is done right, and if there's follow through on this, and if my dear conservative friends would stop saying things like mentally disturbed, I've heard some other ones out there that are just so derogatory. Stop it. Come on. Lead on this. Lead and be the compassionate ones. If you're really saying you want to do the right thing by these people, then lead by example and how you talk. Let's grow up here a little bit. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for today. I'm going to post the link to the KJZZ interviews so you can listen. I think they're only each 8 minutes long. Again, really thankful for that opportunity. And we will be back here. I'm going to play around with this new software. I can do split screens. I can do interviews. One of my first interviews that I want to do is with my husband. I want you to meet Matthew because he leads our caregiver support group, and he really is the heartbeat behind what we're doing. And we have some exciting things on the horizon, and I can't wait for you to learn more about them. But first you got to meet the man who's primarily funding this whole gig and keeping me going. We have amazing donors that give every month. We've had amazing champions all throughout the years that I give great shout outs to them. We would not be here without all of you. But my husband goes to work every day and he says, keep going, Deborah. This is what we're going to be doing. This is our retirement, caring for people with serious mental illness and equipping the church to do the same. So thanks for staying with me. Thanks for listening. Now I'm going to not very smoothly transition to, it's not going to be very, well, I've got an outro, and next time hopefully I'll figure out how to do that because I don't know how to get out of here. Let's see. Here we go. Figured it out. I'm so excited. Brown eyes. This is all for you. I love you. And I'm looking forward to you being with us this weekend. We're going to watch some Brad Pitt. Maybe F1. I don't know, but it's going to be a Brad Pitt kind of weekend because I know you love Brad Pitt. Thank you guys for supporting the Mama Bear Diaries by listening and sharing and liking. That really helps me, and spread the word. I really appreciate it. This literally is grassroots, and I need everybody's help. Thank you. Take care.